The United States has once again demonstrated its military might by deploying dozens of M1 Abrams main battle tanks to Europe's eastern border. This move is considered part of a deterrent strategy against potential threats from Russia, amid rising geopolitical tensions in the region. The Pentagon officially announced the deployment of this heavy equipment on Monday local time, accompanied by the publication of images and video footage of a convoy of tanks being loaded onto a military transport ship at a U.S. port, before being shipped to military ports in Eastern Europe. According to an official statement from the United States European Command, EUCOM, the deployment of the M1 Abrams tanks is part of a troop rotation within Operation Atlantic Resolve, a NATO initiative to strengthen the defense of its allies in Eastern Europe. Pentagon spokesman Major General Patrick Ryder stated that this deployment is a routine action to strengthen interoperability and combat readiness between U.S. forces and our NATO allies. A total of 31 M1 Abrams tanks will reportedly be deployed in Poland, while several others will be sent to Latvia and Lithuania. The tanks are part of an armored battalion from the 1st Cavalry Division, Fort Cavazos, Texas, which has been preparing since early this summer. The M1 Abrams tanks being deployed are the M1A2 SEPV3 variant, the latest version featuring an active protection system, APS, updated navigation systems, and enhanced sensor systems. This move comes amid rising tensions between NATO and Russia due to the protracted war in Ukraine. Since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, NATO has gradually increased its military presence on its eastern border, including troops, missile systems, and heavy combat vehicles. Some analysts have called this deployment a direct response to Russia's recent large-scale military exercises near the borders of Belarus and Kaliningrad. The Russian Ministry of Defense stated that the U.S. deployment of Abrams tanks was a provocative step that would only worsen the regional security situation. In a written statement, Moscow accused NATO of deliberately provoking escalation in Eastern Europe by continuing to deploy military forces close to Russia's borders. Conversely, NATO officials emphasized that the presence of U.S. troops and equipment in the eastern region is purely defensive and within the bounds of international law. The presence of M1 Abrams tanks on Europe's eastern border is believed to have major implications, both geopolitically and economically. The Eastern European countries hosting this deployment, such as Poland and Lithuania, welcomed the move as a security reassurance amid concerns about Russian expansion. However, some within the U.S. have questioned the substantial cost of deploying this heavy equipment. According to Department of Defense data, the operating cost of a single M1 Abrams can reach $6 million per year, excluding logistics and technical support. As part of this deployment, U.S. forces will soon begin a series of joint military exercises with local forces. These exercises include simulated urban combat, armored maneuvers in open terrain, and training in the use of heavy weapons under extreme conditions. These exercises aim to improve interoperability between NATO forces and also test combat readiness in conventional war scenarios in Europe.
All right, now straight.
The deployment of dozens of M1 Abrams battle tanks by the United States to Europe's eastern border marks a significant escalation in NATO's efforts to strengthen its collective defense. Amid ongoing tensions with Russia, the physical presence of heavy weapon systems like the Abrams serves as an important symbol of Washington's military commitment to its allies. This move not only serves as a deterrent against potential further invasion, but also sends a political message that the United States remains a key pillar of transatlantic security stability.